Let's see, make sure we're recording. Okay, perfect. All right. All right, welcome to Leveraged Online Podcast. I'm really excited for today's interview. In spite of everything that's going on, I'm here with Ben Glass. Ben has been a legal professional for nearly 40 years. He's also the president and CEO of Ben Glass Law and Great Legal Marketing, both in Fairfax, Virginia. Not to mention, he's a husband to his wonderful wife, Sandy, dad to 9, soccer referee, and author of several books. The latest is Play Left Fullback, How Challenging the Status Quo Will Help America's Solo and Small Firm Lawyers Build Better Practices, Be Heroes to Their Families, and Restore America's Trust in Lawyers. Ben, it's great to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks, Gary. That's quite a mouthful.
It is. It is.
It's my third book into the legal space, but what I would say as we begin is that it's a philosophy book. It really is. Any small biz owner will hear the stories, read the stories of my mistakes, my missteps, how I sort of changed around my thinking, and what I do today and what we teach other lawyers. And I mentor and coach a lot of small biz lawyers here in the Northern Virginia area.
Sure.
And it's kind of, it's the right book really for the right time.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on in the world today.
Yeah, the timing is impeccable. So I think it's one of those things that, not only do we need to know where we're at, but also like where the future needs to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So really one of the things, and I'd be amiss not to mention we're in the middle of, economic challenging times. Certainly, we just here in the state of Michigan just got the declaration about an hour ago from our governor that they're issuing the stay at home unless you're a necessary worker mandate. And so, and that's for 3 weeks. So we're yet to see the outcome of some of that. And it's truly been devastating. And so more and more mindset is becoming more and more important as things unfold and as the repercussions of everything that's happening on the economic level begin to unravel as well. But I don't think that they're going to just unravel. I don't think that's the only thing that's going to happen. I think there's great opportunities in the middle of this. And one of those things that I was reminded of, you had made a post the other day, and I'm just going to read it. It says, just got off the phone with my lawyer mastermind group this morning and on a call with another mastermind group with mixed businesses. Lots of diverse ideas and views of the future. But the main message I'd pass on to others is that there are things we cannot control and things that we can control. Watching the talking heads on TV is depressing. Talking to my fellow entrepreneurs is uplifting. Lesson, what you put into your mind matters. So I just want to ask you, how important is mindset in business?
Well, so a couple things. It's really, really important because whenever, we're in a big crisis now. There's no doubt this is hard, but businesses and business owners face crises and problems and puzzles to solve every single day. And you can make the decision to think or not think, right? First of all, the superpower that we all have is our mind, and the power of reason. And then when we think or not, if we're going to decide to think, we can think positively or negatively. And it's really easy to just get sucked into and give up because frankly, you turn on the evening news or any news 24/7 now,
Sure.
It's negative. There's not many good stories out there. And that's my view is that's not the world you want to live in, right? So hopefully folks are already members of groups of growth-minded, positive thinking people. It could be in your church, house of worship. It could be locally small biz. As you mentioned, I'm in a number of mastermind groups. But even if you're not, the reason is you just get drawn up in their spirit. And as we were talking about a little bit before we went live, is America will get through this because of entrepreneurs and because of positive thinkers who are willing to put their ideas on the table, debate them, right? So not every idea will be good, but at least we'll have honest and open debate about the merits of ideas, unbridled by any politics. And that's how we've always done it. That's what makes America unique, and it makes America great, is that we have the freedom to put out ideas, act on them, and live and fail based upon those ideas. So that's the world I play in. And so I run mastermind groups but I'm also a member, a paying member of several mastermind groups with what we call mixed breed, so mixed businesses.
Sure.
But even if you're not in one, think about this is, okay, you just said like shutdown order for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's going to stand up and say, okay, other small biz owners in my area, let's at least get on one of these, right? Zoom
Mm-hmm.
or something, and let's just talk about the ideas. How can we help each other? So if you're not in a group, you can start a group and you can be the person who's the organizer, the integrator of this group. My friend Brian Kurtz, who wrote a book called Over Deliver or Over Delivered.
Yeah. Great book. Great book.
Brian from Boardroom Reports, his whole, I was talking to him the other Thursday, is his whole thing is he puts himself in the middle of all of these relationships, right? You don't have to be the smartest one in the room to do this. You just have to put people together. And so it's
and if to that point, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Probably in the wrong room.
Right.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to do any of this alone. It's tough to raise a parent or raise children if you're the only one and you never talk to other people or having issues with teenagers and college kids who are filling your house back again and all that stuff. And it's really hard. I mean, the entrepreneur is the loneliest person in the world. My friend Bill Glazer sort of coined that phrase years ago. And so we've, my groups and the folks I tend to hang out with have banded together and say, okay, heck no, I'm fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not going to lay down and die. Right?
Yeah.
What are you doing in your business that I might be able to transport over here?
Sure.
One of them is let's work on our relationships. Let's work on our marketing. Let's think about what we could do for our customers, clients, and patients, even if we can't see them. Right? Let's be a real leader. These in the area of positivity, and anybody can play in that world.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So to that point, obviously, like if you see just the culture by default seems to like default to negative thinking. It's a spiral downward. It gets a lot of the news. It gets a lot of the publicity. It's when you turn your TV on, it's going to take over the airwaves. And so as a lonely business owner, that potentiality is always there. It's always looming. That spiral downward is always there. So I guess, what do you think are some of the reasons that business owners are not committing themselves to a community of peers? What are the distractions, the fears, the things they think are more important?
Well, so a lot of people got into business, Gary, because they're good at something. Yeah. Bake a cake, Michael Myth, right? Yep. Michael Gerber, the E-Myth, right? Yep. Make a cake, so now I can create a business as a bakery. I'm a good lawyer, so let's sort of law firm. Sure. And so they've never even explored really what it means to run a good, productive business. In other words, they built a job. They're happy with that. That's all cool. But they never even looked outside to even like the word mastermind group, like what's that? So they don't even know about it. The second is some people will not want to go and be vulnerable and to say, gee, I'm kind of popular in this space and it looks like my business is good, but it really isn't that good. And I've struggled with retaining employees or retaining patients and sort of being vulnerable and putting your crap on the table for others. And so a good mastermind group is, confidential. You have each other. It's like what we do in CrossFit, like in the morning, we have each other's back.
Sure.
My CrossFit group is still meeting 10 people or less here in Virginia at any time. And so those are two. And then the third one is some people think I have all the answers and I'm not going to share them with you. Well, all right, I choose to live with people with a growth and abundance mentality. So you don't want to share, that's fine. But you benefit when I reach down and pull you up because I know something that you don't know. Endorphins go up here, right? I've helped you. I've helped the community. I've helped whatever patients and clients you serve, customers that you serve, and so there's good in that. So I play and my friends play in the world of let's mix up ideas. Let's just go for it.
Well, so to that point, how do you, I'm sure you've been a part of groups that, didn't possess the right value, and maybe you joined them hoping for the best, but you knew pretty quickly, or maybe even over time, that this wasn't the right group. So is there a way, as business owners are thinking through this, for them to distill the opportunities that are around? And one of the things that business owners don't want to do, as you know, is waste time. And so joining the wrong group and finding out, a month into it, it's not the right group. What are some things you can do to find abundance thinkers?
Well, I think so. Ironically, maybe that's not the right word. I found that the more expensive the group is, the more likely it is to have abundance thinkers, right? So some of the groups I'm in are anywhere from 18K to 25K a year, right? Now, that sets a certain barrier. So and it's kind of, again, I'll make the analogy to CrossFit. CrossFit tends to be, the most expensive gym in the area. But when you invest that, and everybody is investing that, they show up, right? And they want to get the value back out. So that's number one. Number two is, sometimes you can't know until you join. But I think a litmus test is if you join and go, is the conversation in the room, hey, my name's Ben, and this is all about me, and this is how you can help me? Yeah. Or is the conversation in the room one of curiosity? Gary, tell me what your week was like last week. What thing do you think you wish you could unwind and unpuzzle that would really move the needle? If that's the conversation that goes on generally in the room, and then the questioner shuts up, that's good, listens to ideas, and doesn't go, well, that won't work, that's a really good group to be. That's good. Yeah. It's very much akin to people drawing things out from you rather than just pouring out onto the ground all their information. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the low price groups that you may see in a sort of a local business meetup thing. I mean, I've been to some of those events, and sadly, a lot of those people don't have real businesses, they don't have real jobs, they don't make any money, and they don't really have anything to offer except the sort of misery index. And that's just not who you want to hang out with. Somebody else can take care of them, frankly. Again, and you want to be not the smartest in the room. So, and being an organizer allows you, because now you can go out and invite the smart people, right? And absorb and be a facilitator of conversation. And I think to the other point, making the analogy of CrossFit, you can walk into a CrossFit gym and you can just tell by the culture typically. Now, obviously there's some obvious physical aspects to this, but you can tell from a community perspective, are these people serious about what they're doing? Are they all in, if you will? Both individually, but also are they serious about the community? Because a good CrossFit gym, we're cheering on the person who's last to finish the workout. We're picking up each other's weights. We're encouraging no matter where they are. So there's both that individual development, but also that group. And by the way, so those gyms that have developed a culture like that, they'll be okay through this because their members won't quit, right? The members like the community. So any business owner, particularly if you're a professional services, anything other than just sort of selling widgets, if you've built a community of people who know you, like you, and can tell your story, the Ben Glass Dad to Nine story, that's so powerful. And it's much more powerful than just being known as a good lawyer, good personal lawyer, whatever it is. It takes time. The best time to have been working on this was 10 years ago. The next best time is now. So people in Michigan have free time now. There's a ton of great books. There's a ton of great podcasts. It is hard. It is hard for everybody. Some businesses will fail. Those that get through it are going to be stronger. I know that sounds almost just like platonic and just stupid, but again, I have a choice. I can think the end is here. And I can live my life that way. I just choose to go over here. I might be wrong. We might all be gone. I might be wrong. But we'll go out happy. Well, okay. So what I want to do very specifically, I guess at this, and I appreciate that, that's really helpful. And mental health is a big part of growing your company and having abundant thinking. So I want to talk very specifically about lawyers for a moment, if I could.
What are some things that they can be or should be doing right now to position themselves for growth and influence over the coming weeks and months?
So a couple things that we're doing and a lot of our lawyer members are doing. So first of all, very few people that we coach are giving up and stopping marketing.
Mm-hmm.
They may be shifting some of their dollars into hours. In other words, let's spend some time. Let's make sure the website is robust. Let's make sure all the links work, all the videos are clear. You fill out a page, an information page. Like, what is that consumer actually going through and seeing? So that we, just doing simple little audits like that. Number one. Number two, I do think proactive reach out to your clients. Now, you and I are both getting a lot of emails from businesses. Hey, here's our COVID-19 virus info, blah, blah, blah. And so what I would say is, now that you've seen that, like, how could I show up differently in my clients' lives? It might be live phone outs, right?
Yeah.
It might be doing an email with a different headline. It certainly is letting them know if you're still able to operate with technology and stuff. But most of all, it's assuming the position of calm leadership, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to take credit. We don't need people to give us credit. We just want to be the ones that people will at least look to for rational advice. So those are a couple things. There are many lawyers, unfortunately, who weren't set up for this at all, who don't have the capacity to be virtual at all. That, again, that's kind of, they weren't listening, right?
Yeah.
But marketing systems, making sure your people are okay, the folks that you employ, that's going to be hard if you have no money coming in. But our mantra here has been, we're adults. Again, Virginia's not on shutdown. We're adults. If you think that it's better for you to be here, terrific. If you think it's better to be home, terrific. If you can be home and only give us a couple hours, don't worry about it. We're going to get through it. So again, we have built a great team here at Ben Glass Law and at my other business, Great Legal Marketing. We trust them. They trust us. So they know that leadership is doing everything we can to make sure that nobody gets laid off, everything continues to operate.
Sure.
We're all playing as adults, really.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. Well, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about your new book, How Challenging the Status Quo Will Help America's Solo and Small Firm Lawyers Build Better Practices, Be Heroes to Their Families, and Restore America's Trust in Lawyers. Play left fullback's the first part of that, but that is a very long title. It's very packed. I love it. It's marketing 101 in terms of drawing people in and understanding. Let's talk a little bit about what it's about and who should read it.
Right. Why did you do this? So, this is my third major book into the solo and small firm space. So most of the folks who read this are running their mom and pa running a law office, maybe from 1 to 5 lawyers, maybe up to 20, 25 staff, and they're not spending millions of dollars on TV, radio, and billboard advertising. So that's really who this book is primarily for. Although I'll say, Gary, any small biz owner, it is, as I mentioned to you in the pre, it's a philosophy book. This is it's a mindset book primarily. In 2016, a task force on lawyer wellness issued a report that said, oh my gosh, many lawyers are depressed. They are not happy with the profession. They're stressed out. They drink too much. They do drugs and things like that. And they're not happy, to which many of the elite said, oh my God, we're shocked. We're surprised. I said, how could you be surprised if you were down on the ground and out of your high tower talking to lawyers and listening to them, you would know that many are not happy.
Sure.
So the established bar's response to the wellness report was to say, we're going to require you to go to class to learn how to meditate and eat better and exercise. And there's not a word, because I've read all of the kind of responses, right? There's not a word about build a profitable money-making business that attracts clients you like, attract a team that you like to come into work with on Monday morning, and that will actually make you happy, right? So this book says the status quo has it wrong. The bar's response is wrong. We should put up front and up top, build a profit-making business, because I mean, lawyers are like the elite are afraid to talk about profit. Like we're supposed to be paupers or something, and most of us are not, right? We do right. But when you have which lawyer can do better for their client? The one who's not worried about the lights turning on Monday, the one who has happy clients, the one who has a team of people, whether that team is one, or 25, who actually like coming to work. That lawyer is going to be able to do better work and serve the client.
Sure.
So when the lawyer's happy, when the team is happy and the clients get served, the community gets served well. And my view is that if you elevate the client to number one status or anything else to number one status, and the lawyer is not happy as he or she can be, then that's going to fail, right?
Sure.
And so this book is a response. This book is a voice out in the wilderness that says the established bar has it wrong, and they're lying to you. Maybe they just don't know. I mean, if you look now, as we're in the middle of Corona virus, there's nothing coming out of national leadership for lawyers. There's nothing coming out of statewide leadership that I have seen. There's nothing coming out of the trial lawyer associations that are like this conversation that we're having. There's nothing, right? Courts are closed. Here's the kind of rules.
Yeah.
And so that's the leadership vacuum that exists in my industry. Now, you go across any industry. So any professional services, and I suspect in many, many other businesses, there's not this positive, what can I do now to move the needle forward message coming. And so everyone who's watching this later, that could be you. I mean, why not you to step up in your community and be the leader, or step up in your industry or in your profession and be a part of the conversation that's trying to solve the problem. Again, I'm not saying that in Corona, they've got the wrong answer. They're not doing anything.
Right.
State bar, trial lawyer associations, not doing anything that I've seen proactive and positive about this. There's a number of us, in the space that I am in, who are trying. And that's, again, the world we choose to play in is to try.
That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate it. This has been a great, just 30 minutes of just pure gold. So
that went by fast.
That did go by fast.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. Your book is available for pre-order on Amazon.
Yeah, in fact, so we're recording this. It's Monday, right? So tomorrow, Tuesday, the 24th of March, it's available. So if you order it today, you may even get it tomorrow.
Hey.
And again, play left fullback. That is, and I won't tell the whole story, but that's advice my dad gave me when I tried out for my first travel soccer team. And it really is great business advice when you read that chapter and learn what it's all about. But any small biz owner will likely see himself or herself in this book. You just start because you're good at the thing. You have no clue what it really means to run a business. You fail, you move 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. The world is beating you down, but you start to learn, and you reach outside of your own industry to start to learn and ask other successful business owners, how do you think? Who do you read? What marketing strategies get people into your bagel shop, right? I mean, Starbucks sold coffee, or maybe they didn't, right? It wasn't all about the coffee. And so mixing, again, this is what America is good at, taking ideas, mixing them up, testing them, retesting them. Finally, the light bulb goes off, right? After hundreds of tries to get electricity to light light bulbs, and now we have a light bulb.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. And that's what you're trying to do with this, this podcast, which is an important, podcast, and reach out to the community. Because if you turn on the TV tonight, you will see none of this.
I can't even turn it on. There's no help there. There's no help.
No. And I'm listening to a number of podcasts now that say that statistics that they're throwing up on the screen are not well thought out statistics and models anyway. So
no. We need
what you're doing.
Yeah. So the book is perfect time. So we'll make sure to order that. And so where do people go to find out more about you?
So the law firm is benglasslaw.com. My coaching program for lawyers is greatlegalmarketing.com. If you buy the book and then go to playleftfullback.com and register the book, we've got some other goodies for free for you too. And again, that's open. You don't have to be a lawyer. to enjoy and get something out of this book. And even the training materials that we have available to you, I don't care what business you're in, if you're translate it, I mean, if lawyers can do it, then you can do it, right?
Right.
Because we have a lot of restrictions on marketing and advertising, and nobody at the upper towers want to talk about profit. So if we can do it, you can do it.
That's fantastic. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to read your book and can't thank you enough for your time.
All right, Gary. Thanks. You have a great day. Be safe.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.